Hello, everyone. I'm ZHAO Chuang. Let's draw the head of Camarasaurus. We already know what its skull looks like, so we can easily deduce its appearance with skin covered. But we cannot simply restore the Camarasaurus head with a single layer of skin covering the skull bones. Dinosaurs were not like mammals. Mammals have rich facial muscles and can make many expressions, as well as a lot of fat or other structures that make their faces plumper. Most dinosaurs, resembling reptiles, had their faces with a skin and bone structure. Surprisingly, Camarasaurus was an exception among dinosaurs. First, its nostrils were once believed to be on the top of its head, as those of many sauropods displayed that way, such as the very familiar Diplodocus and Brontosaurus. However, through careful research, the nostrils of Camarasaurus were found to be located relatively low. As a result, its nasal cavities should be more than just covered with a layer of skin and much fuller than we previously speculated. Therefore, when drawing the nose, we should make its two nasal cavities chubby. In addition, a relatively new cognition of the Camarasaurus is that its teeth were covered with a beak. This claim is somewhat controversial, but we will temporarily adopt it and restore its mouth with a beak in this drawing. So, we should consider the different textures of the beak and skin. Now, let's get started. First, sketch the overall outline of its head. The top of its head is here. Place the ear here and the nose tip about here. The upper jaw contour is here. Leave space at the bottom of the picture for the lower jaw, which may be here. The lower jaw of Camarasaurus was pretty thick. We can draw it a little fuller. Next, start depicting the details from the eye. We first use folds to show the eye socket's shape. Then, draw the eye in a small area centered in the eye socket. The eyes are generally round, with a sharper inner corner. Then, add the pupil and leave a gap on the top as the highlight. Use relatively thin lines to draw a circle of structures inside the eye. And place some shading above the eyeball because the transparent eye will gather light on the lower part, so the top should look darker. Draw some folds around the eye to make the periphery look softer. Proceed to outline its nose. Followed by the junction where the nose skin meets the mouth. The soft tissue of the nose can be drawn a little larger because the nostrils of Camarasaurus are huge. We can draw this structure similar to an air sac. The nasal bone is sandwiched between the two nostrils. Make both nasal cavities more protruded. Then, draw its mouth, with a hard shell in front resembling a beak, possibly covered with hard skin or keratin on the surface. Add plump muscles at the back of the mouth. Then, draw its lower jaw and the muscles at the mouth corner. Its lower jaw was pretty thick. Move on to draw the temporal fenestra behind the eye, with the ear following afterward. We can make this ear larger. Now, use thin lines to add more details to the finished structures. For example, add some wrinkles below the nose. Show the boundary between the beak and facial skin, and outline the beak. Then, draw the teeth growing outward from the beak margin, ensuring the exposed part is relatively sharp. Draw the teeth below. Followed by the outline of the mandible beak. Add subtle wrinkles to the skin to show its softness. If the light comes from the left, this side of the face will be in shade. We can make its face more bulged and three-dimensional. Slightly strengthen these facial structures. Depict the temporal fenestra filled with muscles to make it look rounder, and the lines more coherent. In the mouth, draw the internal structure and the tongue below. Add shadows inside the mouth to define the mouth's outline. On the beak surface, we can draw vertical lines, as well as some horizontal growth lines. Draw a series of lines down the tooth slits to make its beak appear harder. Then, place shading to make its cheek muscles chubby. Draw a depression here at the corner of the mouth. Add more wrinkles under the eye to make the eye look more bumped, and the structure more three-dimensional. As the light comes from the left, draw some shadows at the front of the beak to make the whole head look more integrated and three-dimensional. Next, draw the neck with a group of muscles from the top of the head connected to its posterior. Then, outline the top of its head. Next, draw thick muscles on the side of its neck. Below the muscle is the soft skin that connects to the head. Further down is its throat. On the throat, we can draw some circular lines to show both the shadow structure and the rows of scales on its neck. draw more folds on the side of the neck and head. Finally, refine these structures a little. In this way, we have finished drawing the head of Camarasaurus.